Three. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mikey Report for July 13th, 2010. I don't have much time and a lot to cover, so let's get to the news. First off, today's lead story right now is the death of George Steinbrenner, the longtime Yankee owner. He had a massive heart attack this morning and died in a Tampa, Florida hospital at 6:30 this morning. Steinbrenner was 80 years old and the second Yankee family member to pass away this week, following Bob Shepard, who passed away at the age of 99 on Sunday. Our thoughts and prayers go out to both families, the Shepard family and Steinbrenner family, at this time. But to some good news, if you're a stamp collector, or if you want to know actual term, philatist, P-H-I-L-A-T-E-L-I-S-T, the Postal Service is honoring the Negro Leagues of baseball that were in effect from 1920 to 1960, which helped greats like Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and Jackie Robinson break through the MLB color barrier. Jackie Robinson came in 1947. Ceremonies for the stamps will be held at the Negro League Baseball Museum in Kansas City, Missouri on Thursday this week. Now we go and continue with our longest running story, the disaster in the Gulf with the BP oil spill. In a hopefully pivotal moment in the Gulf crisis, BP was preparing today to begin closing valves in a slow and methodical process that could finally choke off the geyser of crude at the bottom of the sea after 3 gloomy months and up close to 180 million gallons of oil spilled. The top hat number 10 was lowered over the well Monday night, and the next phase was to shut the openings in the 75-ton metal stack of pipes and valves gradually, one at a time, while watching the pressure gauges to see if the cap would hold or if any new leaks would erupt. BP first targeted a midday start, but later said that was overly optimistic and pushed expectations back. Now another snag happened, and unclear as to what the decision was about, but it won't happen for probably a little bit more longer. BP and the point man on the crisis, Thad Allen, urged patience from Gulf residents about having this end. They ought to be interested and concerned, but if they hold their breath, they'll run out of oxygen. Now, if the cap works, it will enable BP to stop that oil from gushing into the Gulf, either by holding it all inside the well machinery like a stopper, or if pressure's too great, channeling some through pipes to as many as 4 collection ships. I think one of them is included the Helix producer. BP's also drilling the 2 relief wells that we mentioned about earlier this month in the Mikey Report through the seafloor to reach the broken well, possibly, hopefully, late July, and jam it permanently with drilling mud and cement. After that, the Gulf Coast will face a long cleanup. And as of today, the 84th day, between 90.4 and 178.6 million gallons of oil had spewed into the Gulf. Now that the big news is out of the way, let's see whether the weather's good or bad around eastern Pennsylvania. First, with the Philly metro area, we had a high temperature today of 86 degrees, but humidity was really present, and it made it feel like 93 today. Currently, we're around 75, 80 degrees right now. Excessive heat watches and flash flood watches in effect through the next day or two because of the high temperatures and humidity. as well as the thunderstorms that are lurking in the area. We're looking at temperatures for the next 9 days anywhere between 89 and 93. Thunderstorms possible tomorrow and Saturday, and potentially isolated on the 20th, which is next Tuesday. For the Scranton metro area, not much action weather-wise up there. Well, not as intense as down here in the Philly area, as far as I know. Similar forecasts, however, except for the isolated storms in Philly that are scheduled for Tuesday, might hit us, might hit Scranton on Monday, possibly. Of course, we know temperatures are normally lower up there in Pocono and northeast Pennsylvania region. 83 to 87 are what we're looking at forecasting for the next 9 days of your life, including the majority of Good News Day Camp week, which makes me happy. Yay! Just as long as I don't have any cranky kids because of humidity or rain. The markets turned out pretty good today. Stocks soared with bigger and better than expected profits from Alcoa, who makes aluminum, and rail operator CSX, and that came into Wall Street today. The Dow went up just under 147 points, finishing at 10,363, while the Nasdaq was just under 44 points, wrapping up at 2242, and the S&P up 16.5 to 1095.34. All the indices were about 1.5% up from the start of the trading day, and in another stock, Intel Corporation, who makes the chips for computers, shot up over 5% in after-hours trading today. Feel-good story in Columbia County, a little local news here. Camp Dosed, camp for kids who usually have tough battles with cancer, is held on the grounds of Camp Victory, sponsored by Danville's chapter around McDonald House. The kids can enjoy the outdoors and have fun with people who actually understand the battles of cancer. And that is currently running, and it will go through Friday of this week. In sports action, we mentioned about the deaths in the baseball world. Now we also have today the MLB All-Star Game. It's been pretty interesting for National League, who hasn't won since 1996, including 7 years, and meant home field advantage for the World Series. National League ended up winning today 3-1 off of a Brian McCann bases loaded double, and McCann ended up being the Ted Williams All-Star MVP. Today in the Tour de France, Cadel Evans, who was leading entering today's stage 9, Cadel lost the yellow jersey, and Andy Schleck, who won stage 8 Sunday, tied for 4th today with Alberto Contador, who Schleck edged out for the overall lead today. Sandy Kazar won the stage 9. Evans ended up dropping to 18th overall, 42nd for the stage. Lance Armstrong was 18th today, 31st in overall after being down at 39th. His Radio Shack team is 2nd in standings. Andy Schleck's Saxo Bank team is 11th, and Alberto Contador's Astana team is 3rd, while he holds 2nd in the overall standings behind Schleck. Now, good timing. That's everything for the Mikey Report. I'm Mikey Edwards. Tonight's scheduled discussion zone about LeBron James will not be tonight. It'll be on Thursday. But that's it for the Mikey Report. Mikey Edwards saying good night.